First, this topic we learn about the cash flow diagram. Okay. Okay. From any scenario, for any example, from any problems, student must be able to translate the scenario to the cash flow diagram. Okay. So to able to analyze or to evaluate this cash flow diagram, student must be able to know the economic factors. The economic factors. And so there are only four economic factors: the P, the F, E, and G factors. Okay. There are only four factors: the present factor, the future factor, the uniform series factor A, and the gradient factor. Okay. And this P and F also known as a single payment factor. Okay. A single payment factor. Reason? Because this factor only can represent a single value. Okay. So this factor only can represent a single value inside the cash flow diagram. Okay. So to solve this cash flow diagram, there are two approaches. First, we use the formula. So you can refer the formula, the list of formula in the appendix. We can use the formula, or we can use the standard factor notation. Standard factor notation. Okay. There are three components. Yeah. First, the two factor, example P given F, the interest rate, and this N value. Okay. This I and value, the period. Okay. So again, on these standard factor notations, yeah, because there are two factors, the top and the bottom factor. So the top factor always the factor that we want to find out, and the bottom factor always factor that given in the cash flow diagram. It's consistent in any example, in any type of cash flow diagram. And then the second component in the standard factor notation is the interest rates. Okay, and the third component is the period. So where we get this value using the standard factor notation, we refer to the interest tables. Interest table, which is been arranged according to the interest rates, and there are several columns. Consists of these two factor. Okay, any two factor, and consists of the value of n period. Yeah. So again, the value inside the table is determined based on the formula that also listed in the appendix. Yeah. So students are able to use this formula approach or the standard factor notations. All right. And then we have covered this. We start our discussion on economic factors with this PNF, the single payment factor. A single payment factor. Why single payment factor? Because this factor only represent a single value. A single value. Okay. And then we also cover the uniform series factor. Yeah? So a series of value can represent as a factor. Okay? But with two conditions. Yeah? First, the value must be consecutive. Okay? It must occurs or happens in consecutive interest period. And the second condition must have a same amount. Same amount. Yeah? It must be consecutive in interest periods and must same amount. So that the series of value, we can represent that as a factor. Okay. And we discuss this a factor with P and also with F. Yeah, either P given A or A given P. Yeah. F given A or A given F. Okay. So when they derive the formula for P factor and F factor, there are assumptions have been made, yeah, which is the P must one period ahead from the first A. the P must 1 period ahead from the first A. So this is the conditions when we want to use P given A or A given P. Again, the reason because this assumption has been made when we derive the formula. The formula that listed in the appendix. And with F, A with F factor, the F must same period. And must same period with last A. So as I remind, we have to remember these conditions when we want to apply these economic factors involved with the A factor. Involved with the A factor because they are conditions to use when related with P factor and related with F factor. Again, A with P, the P must always 1 period ahead from the first A. A with F, the F must same period with last A. Again, one, because this assumption has been made when we derive the formula. So we want to use the formula, we have followed the conditions. Okay, and we call this as a standard cash flow diagram, a normal cash flow diagram. Normal cash flow diagram. So the issue is, what if the P is not 1 period ahead and the F that we want to find out in the cash flow diagram is not same period with last A. So that's we will discuss later in this combination factor. That we categorize that as a non-standard cash flow diagram. So the standard cash flow diagram, the P must always 1 period ahead from the first A and the F must same period with last A. So if this condition is not being fulfilled inside the cash flow diagram, we have to use shifting technique to solve the cash flow diagram that we'll cover later on. Okay, right? And then we move to this G factor. So in gradient factor, we have two types of gradient factor. Yeah, there are two types of gradient factor. First, this arithmetic. The arithmetic gradients, and another one is geometric gradients. Geometrics, arithmetics, and geometric gradient. So this gradient defined as the change amount with the same value for arithmetic. So the arithmetic have the same value or same amount, same value or same amount, and geometrics with the same percentage. Okay. So the change must be consistent with the same amount for arithmetic gradient and for geometric gradient with the same percentage. Example, the maintenance cost increase 200 every year. So every year the maintenance cost will increase 200. Yeah. So that's example of changing amount with the same value or same amount. And that we categorize as arithmetic gradient. Or the maintenance cost decrease 500 every year. Yeah. So again, the changing become decrease, lesser with the same amount. So in that example, we can represent that cash flow diagram or the series of the cash flow diagram with the arithmetic gradient. Only the change amount. And for geometric gradient, the changes based on percentage. Example, the maintenance cost increase 10% every year or decrease 3% every year. Okay, so the change based on percentage. So if the change based on the same percentage, we categorize that cash flow diagram as geometric gradient. Geometric gradient. So what's important that we have to differentiate between this arithmetic and geometric gradient? The reason is because these two factors, arithmetic gradient and geometric gradient, have a different formula. Yeah. So if the cash flow diagram categorized as arithmetic gradient, we have to use arithmetic gradient methods. If the cash flow diagram based on geometric gradient or the problem based on geometric gradient, we have to use this formula specific for geometric gradient. Yeah. Okay. So that's have been covered in the video. Can look detail on that. To get that understanding to apply these gradients. So that's I think some quick revision on these economic factors that student must be able to really understand, able to use it, be able to apply it to solve any type of cash flow diagram.